Hello everyone. Firstly, I'd like to thank you for taking an interest in this video and my channel. I just thought before the video starts I'd give a little heads up, as the story is best to listen to with headphones. As you can see, the story is quite a long one, so please get comfortable, grab something to eat and drink. I really hope you enjoy the video. Take care.
God, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna make it. Hello? Hello? God, I hope somebody can hear me right now. Hello? Hello? My name is James. I'm sending out this distress call. I'm a survivor. I'm all alone. My supplies ran out a few days ago. I have no food or water. I really hope somebody's listening. Hello? Hello? Is anybody out there? Fuck. Please! Hello? My name is James Richardson. I'm 24 years old. I'm on my own out here, and my supplies are non-existent. Can anyone read me? Shit. Damn it. What's the point in trying again? I've been doing this for nearly hours, nearly 2 days straight. Shit. Well, if I'm going to die, whether that be dehydration or starvation, then I might as well explain what the hell happened. To my home, to my friends, to the world. I don't really know where to begin, so I guess I'll just start from when it all began. It was a normal day, decently sunny, and a pleasant mood was in the air. I was at work doing a normal 9 to 5 shift at the local supermarket. Business was steady as usual, and I was on my break with my mate Jim. We were looking at our phones, looking for funny videos and memes to try and get us through the day. We were both laughing and smoking a cigarette when both of us got breaking news notifications on our phone saying that there's been some unusual sudden deaths in South Africa. According to the reports, people's hearts would just suddenly stop beating and they'd die instantly, no matter how fast they were rushed to the hospital. At this time, they concluded this strange occurrence as unexplained for now, but researchers were doing the best they can do to find answers. Me and Jim looked at each other with a slight hint of concern. Strange, I thought to myself. Maybe it's just another outbreak of something. The world has barely just got over the coronavirus. The last thing we need is another pandemic on our hands. Jim just simply shrugged before finishing his cigarette. Before we went inside, he said, "Well, we should be fine, mate. Honestly, with how good quarantine control has become, I doubt any disease or virus could get into our country now." I remember nodding at him in agreement. Yeah, we'll be fine. I then followed him inside and the day went on as normal, and I completely forgot about the topic in hand. I clocked out of work and I went home to relax. I just wasted a few hours of my time watching Netflix and a few other things. I remember waking up the next day and I find more news alerts pop up on my screen. I was in shock. The casualties just overnight went from about 100 people to tens of thousands, all within the space of a few hours. The entire continent of Africa declared a state of emergency and closed off all their borders to prevent this possible contagion from spreading. Additionally, there were no reports so far of this spreading around the entire world yet. All of it happened so suddenly that when I got to work that morning, it was already packed with panicked buyers trying to get as many essentials as possible. Our security had an extremely busy shift that day, and myself and along with all the other workers were exhausted. Fortunately for me, it was the start of my time off work, so I decide to go home and spend some time resting, and hopefully plan to go away somewhere. Another few hours pass and I'm enjoying a lovely whiskey on the rocks, when another notification pops up on my phone. It's a message from Jim. He asks if he can come round for a drink, so I invite him over and we share the bottle of whiskey together. We then discuss today's events, about what happened, and how chaotic some people can act out of fear. It's scary sometimes how other people can be just as scary, if not more terrifying, than the perilous scenario that they're facing. We both finish the bottle and he decides that it's time to head home. I call him a taxi as he could barely walk straight. He tells me to enjoy my holiday and I tell him I will. I decide that I should probably go to bed myself, and I'll plan the holiday tomorrow afternoon. I slept like an absolute rock. I woke up feeling a bit hungover and groggy, so I decided to make myself a cup of coffee and decided to also check on my phone to see if there's any updates happening on the situation in Africa. I had to check the phone a few more times as I thought I was still drunk. Within 24 hours, 10 million people were dead, and now mass suicides were spreading across the continent. What was worse is that, even with all the borders in and out of Africa being completely shut down, it was spreading across the world. America, Europe, Asia, the UK. Cases were spreading like the biggest wildfire humanity would ever witness. In just under 3 days, the entire world was in chaos. At that very moment, I hear my TV turn on to an emergency broadcast by the Prime Minister. What they said still shocks me. They said to stay indoors no matter what. Looters will be shot on sight. Anyone seen outside their homes will be shot on sight. They insisted that the army will be patrolling the streets to ensure this rule, and supply drops with food, water and medicine would be provided weekly, as long as the nation remained secluded in their homes. The final words of the transmission were, "May God be with us all," and then the TV shut off. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I've never seen anything go from normal to catastrophic in the matter of days. My disbelief was suddenly broken in a matter of seconds when I rushed to check if I had enough food. Fortunately, I had enough for at least 10 days, if rationed well. The good thing was it was just me in the house. I ran to my shed and prepared as much as I could. I boarded up my windows to reinforce my front and back door and set up an old radio and receiver with a long-range transmitter that my grandfather owned, just in case. I even had to construct myself a weapon. A sturdy baseball bat with nails protruding from its centre. It was grisly, I know, but I was just so scared. I don't think anyone on the planet at that point wasn't terrified. I tried to ring my parents, but they wouldn't pick up. I tried again and again, but no response. Looking back, I can only assume that they were already dead. I had no other close friends or family, so I didn't think to try anyone else. What was the point? Even if I could see them, we would just get shot or even catch this possible disease. It wouldn't have mattered anyway, because before nightfall, all the service went down. And on that day, this nightmare officially began. This is where my memory starts to get hazy, as everything just blends together. The first week was a chaotic blur. I remember hearing constant screaming, yelling, destruction, gunfire, and explosions. both near and far from my home, as I spent all the days cowering in my house, praying that nobody would try to enter my home. The electrical grid went down not long after the emergency TV broadcast, and the remaining broadcast came through the radio. Some of the reports coming through were hard to believe. Even the soldiers patrolling the streets were dying instantly. Some came even equipped with gas masks and face coverings, and they were still dying. The estimated casualties grew larger and larger as every minute passed, the numbers becoming incalculable. More mass suicides were being reported across the world as people had just started to give up. And soon, after 7 grueling days, the broadcast stopped coming. No promises of rescue, no word of a cure or a solution, not even an official name for the contagion was ever released. Everyone was either dead, isolated, or had given up hope. The following week was silence. Nothing but pure silence. Not even a static hum from my radio. More days passed and I reached the end of my food and water supply. At that point, I even thought about taking my own life. What was the point of it all? For all I know, I'm the only one left alive. I thought of the many different ways I could end it all, but I settled on the idea of overdosing on some out-of-date sleeping pills that my ex kept at my house. I never had any use for them, and I forgot all about them until I found them on that day. I figured I'd wait till the evening. At least I'd fall asleep and pass peacefully. I had 1 bottle of wine that I'd been saving for a special occasion, so I thought I'd crack it open. Why not? I'm going to go out one way or another. Might as well do it stinking drunk. I began to pour the first bottle of the rich liquor into my glass when I hear the radio suddenly burst into life. A voice filled with adrenaline fills the room, shouting, asking if anyone is hearing them. I stopped for a minute, and I recognized the voice instantly. Jim? I rushed over and responded to him. Jim? Jim! Is that you? He responds, saying my name in shock. I was about to reply when he cuts me off, saying something that echoes in my mind to this day. James, it's not an infection. It's not a fucking infection. I was about to say something, but he continued to cry out. My wife! She couldn't take living in the dark anymore. We ran out of candles and matches, so when I was out of the room, she removed one of the wooden planks from the window, just to take a look outside and feel the light of the sun on her face. All I hear is the commotion, and I run into the room to see her peering outside. And what do I see? I watch her suddenly gasp, clutch her heart, and drop dead. James, this isn't something that is spread. It's something that is seen. She saw something outside that caused her heart to stop, and she died instantly. Jim then began to cry over the loss of his wife, and I was utterly speechless. All this time, it wasn't a virus, a bug, disease, or a parasite. It's an entity, a creature. Something that once seen kills you instantly, no warning, just instant death. At that moment, I heard banging and scratching coming from the radio. Jim's reaction is one of pure rage. He screams at this thing, tearing down his door, and I just sat there helplessly on the other end of the radio. The final words he would ever say to me is, "James, stay alive. Stay quiet and stay hidden. You've got to tell people the truth. It's the key to surviving this nightmare." The last things I hear from the radio are the hisses and shrieks of this damned creature, and the pained exhalation of breath uttered by Jim. One day later, and here I am, present day. I've been broadcasting the same repeated script for hours non-stop. No sleep, no rest, just hoping somebody would hear this and know the truth. I might as well do it again. If anyone can hear me, please listen up. The cause of this, of everybody dying, is not an airborne virus. It's a creature. Once you see it, you will die. I repeat, the cause of everyone dying is not an airborne virus. It is a visually stimulated reaction. Once you see this creature, you die instantly. Please spread the word. Use blindfolds to navigate your surroundings if you are unfamiliar. Do not take them off under any circumstances. I repeat, do not take off your blindfolds at any time if you are trying to navigate your surroundings in an insecure location. Keep noise down to a minimum. These creatures have been shown to be attracted to noise. Again, I repeat, these creatures are attracted to sound, and if you see this creature, you will die instantly. This message will loop automatically on all available frequencies for every hour passing of the day. And I've not received a single response. But I'm hopeful. I hope that a few people have heard this message and know how to navigate this threat. God, I just hope some people are left. Somewhere. Along with the information I've been broadcasting, I've started trying to get help. I've been begging, giving locations, coordinates, directions from nearby landmarks on how to reach my location, even completely blind. I've even tried searching local areas best as I could blindfolded, but all I've brought up is scraps. I've stopped now, because I'm so tired, so very tired. Everything went to shit so fast. I just wish I could see another human face.
Myself and a group of other survivors are heading to your location. Make sure the place is unlocked for us to enter. Will it be safe to take our blindfolds off once we're inside?